Poland Daily Business. If you haven't noticed, I inform you that 2020 just started. We are in January, and obviously this is a very important year due to anniversaries that are happening. First of all, we will have the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, Nazi German camp. Then we will go into the Katyn massacre, that's 80th anniversary, in 1940, when Polish officers were murdered by Soviet Union. Then we will have the Smolensk crash, 10th anniversary. Then we will go into the 75th anniversary of the finish of the Second World War. Then we will move to the in August to the 100th anniversary of Polish victory over Bolsheviks. Then 1980, again an anniversary of the Solidarity movement and the crumbling of the Soviet Union. 10 years after 1980, the Soviet Union ceased to exist. So there is definitely a connection. In the beginning of in the end of 2019, the Polish and Russia had a spat over the Second World War. Apparently, the Polish arguments got through the public in the West, and this we can consider a victory, or can we? That's the question to Artur Wróblewski, PhD of Łazarski University. Sir, have Poland won the spat in Russia, and can we expect the next discussions or heated discussions over the history in this year?
Hello. Yes, I do think that we won this first round of spat with Russia or with President Putin. Probably some people around this circle of President Putin are not very much happy about this spat, because Putin is creating more and more problems for Russia. So maybe it's time to work to help Putin go away and disappear or vanish on the Russian political stage. We should help in Poland Putin go for retirement, simply speaking. This is the first round, because probably the second round of this match, of this game for propaganda, will come on January 23rd, when Putin goes to Jerusalem, to Yad Vashem, and will be participating in the commemoration, in the events relating to the commemoration of the International Holocaust Victims' Day and Auschwitz liberation. He will go
is
to...
strange, because the official celebrations of this will happen in Poland.
Will take place on January 27, a little bit later in Poland, in Auschwitz. He will not come here, but probably he will go to Israel to talk about Polish anti-Semitism, about Polish diplomats from before the Second World War, like Joseph Beck and Joseph Lipski, ambassador of Poland to Berlin in 1939, that they were anti-Semitic, sorry for expressions,
according to Putin,
bastards and anti-Semitic pigs. He used this very undiplomatic language, surprising everybody, because Russian diplomacy is famous with quality and political correctness to some extent in terms of language used and the way diplomats behave. In this case, we have very rude language which might surprise. However, let's remember that it's a part of historical revisionism of President Putin, which probably is caused by his deep frustration and resentment over Polish efforts to, for example, secure Poland against this energy dictate and all other stuff Russia is trying to do. So this is the second round which is coming, but it's very good that for example, Israeli ambassador or the head of American Jewish Committee, Mr. David Harris, very clearly criticize President Putin for the language and for assigning the guilt for the Second World War and Holocaust to Poland. David Harris from United States, the head of American Jewish Committee, clearly said that what Putin did is a revisionism on the steroids. This is quotation from him.
The historical correctness or adhering to facts is one thing in this equation. The other is the brand management. And we are in Poland very much concerned about the spoiling of our national brand that we are trying to slowly build up in the world scene. What are the dangers during this 2020 lying ahead from us? Because definitely the Auschwitz anniversary, as you mentioned, then we will have the Second World War. Well, probably nobody on the right level will come from Poland because, for example, 2005, when President Aleksander Kwaśniewski was there, he was in the last rows of the group. Like one of the countries that was first attacked had one of the biggest input into the war, had biggest sacrifices into the war, was treated as a side show comparing to the president of Germany at the time. We all remember 2009 and 2010, what the Russian policy aimed to diminish the role of Poland during the war, but also diminish the role of Poland in European politics. We have the war to fight in this.
Yes, but
respect.
I think this year, 2020, is much better for Poland. First of all, because it started with Putin's words, which are complete nonsense. So everybody sees that it's something wrong happening with Putin or going on in his head. So to some extent, President Putin helped us to promote our historical narrative, which is about truth, not relativity. But 2020 will be also very good for Poland because it will create an occasion for Poland, for Poles, to promote many events which were important not only for Poland, but also for Europe and the whole world. For example, the anniversary of the Battle for Warsaw of 1920. This battle is included into the most important battles in Europe, which helped to save Europe, in this case,
more or
in
less
1920.
This is an unknown event in the world, but important because it stopped the Bolshevik offensive to Germany and the spreading the Bolshevism
to the
over
West,
the whole Europe. Yes,
over the whole Europe. So it will be occasion maybe to construct a famous Arc de Triomphe, Polish Arc de Triomphe, or this Arch of Triumph, which will commemorate 100 years of the anniversary.
We will obviously use the opportunity that this was not the war waged by Polish army, but with volunteers from all over the Europe, France, United States, the famous director of the King Kong movie, Gary Cooper, was a fighter pilot of Polish army at the time.
So it was international, to some extent, event, and we should promote it. We should show to the world our contribution to the security of Europe and security of the world. And we, of course, saved Europe from this Bolshevik influence. And we see that Russia maybe, or at least leadership, has not changed much mentally, because Putin is a homo sovieticus. We see now in him an old former KGB agent who is lying and also who is trying to intimidate the critics of him. And we know that he's even trying to eliminate physically people he doesn't like for example, Skripal.
And it doesn't help in business.
Exactly. So this is opportunity for Poland, all those anniversaries mentioned by you, to show our version of history, to promote it, because people don't know the history very much, especially in the West, where things are very life is comfortable and people don't read much and don't know about many important dates in the history which should be also celebrated by them.
We should push our agenda. First of all, Artur Wróblewski, thank you very much for participating in this show.
Thank you very much.
And that was it for tonight's Poland Daily Business.